So one of the reasons you've not yet gotten around to filming or shooting content is because you don't have the time to sit down and put everything together. You don't have the time to sit down and shoot. You don't have the time to sit down and do your makeup. You don't have the time to organize your background. You don't have the time to put a script together. You don't have the time to even think of titles, to think of topics, to think of whatever it is you're going to say. I am here to solve that problem for you. You only need 15 minutes to shoot a video, whether it's your first video or the next video. I'm going to break this down. Now, I got this idea for this video that I'm shooting now while I was in the shower. I'm going to quickly shoot it in under 15 minutes and I'm going to upload it today. That's literally how fast I work. I just finished filming a video for my main channel. This video is also hopefully going to go up today. So 2 channels, 2 videos are going to go up and I'm going to get right into it. The first thing you need to do, I've always said this, is to pick something that you already know how to talk about. How are you going to know what it is you can talk about? Whenever you want to decide on a niche or a topic or an area of focus for the content you're going to create, try your very best to go for the option that you can speak about if somebody wakes you up from sleep. So you have a bunch of interests. Which of them is the one that if somebody taps you, you're sleeping, and somebody taps you and asks you a question about that thing, you can easily answer and move on with your day? That is the one that you should most likely convert into content or into a career in content creation. Why? It's going to be very easy for you to talk about it. You're going to be passionate about it, and passion is what's going to continuously drive you to keep creating content even when you're not seeing results yet. Then you're also going to be able to have more ideas from that one topic or area of focus. There are so many reasons. It's also going to make it easier for you to put your thoughts, your opinions into sentences that you are now going to communicate to your audience. So you can see now down to the 15-minute bit. It depends on what you're going to be talking about, honestly, but it's not every time that you're going to need an advanced scripting of an idea, or it's not every time that you're going to need an entire studio production for your content. It's not every time that you're going to need to work with several persons before you can sit down and shoot your content. If I'm going to be speaking about, let's say I'm talking about moisturizing hair. Now, I just did the entire process for moisturizing my hair and I did it in about 40 minutes, right? But if I'm going to be talking about it in 15 minutes, I don't necessarily need to actually moisturize my hair in under the 15 minutes. I can come with my hair moisturized, show people what my hair looks like, and then break down the process in 15 minutes. Now, because it's something that I've done for years on end, and it's also something that has a certain technique or certain steps that I follow to get done, it will be very easy for me to break down this process in 15 minutes and people are still going to understand what it is that I'm saying very, very clearly. If your concern is that you go to work and so you don't have time from your 9 to 5, or you don't have time before you work, or you don't have time, that is not even a good enough excuse. I started creating content when I was working at 9 to 5, and it wasn't even a 9 to 5 because I used to resume work at around 8 a.m., either 8 or 9 a.m., and I'll be at work until 7 p.m. So mine was a 7 to 7, and I'll wake up, let's say 6, do everything, get to work, and I'll be at work till 7 p.m. Then by the time I get home from work, it wouldn't be until 9 p.m., 10 p.m. There was a time I got home by 12 a.m. the next day, and I still had to go to work. Still that day, that was the next day. So what I usually did in the past was I would do my work, and then while I was at work, I still used to edit my content. I was setting up my channel at work. I was looking through analytics. I was looking at the topics I could talk about under the niche I had selected to be posting about. Then when I had a little free time, I would shoot content. It didn't matter where the free time was, but usually at home. So I would shoot my content at home in the night, and it was worse because I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have lighting. All these lights that I'm using to shoot now, I didn't have it. My background was not the best. I lived in a very, very tiny room. Also, it was not a lot of daylight out night, obviously, but I still got this thing done because I was like, this is the only time that I have to create content and I have to do it now. So what I usually did in that time is I didn't make my videos very long. I kept my videos short, and there was a time I was posting 4-minute videos, 5-minute videos, 6-minute videos, but the goal was to have videos go out no matter what it took. So this is all about mindset. You cannot simply say I don't have time, Once you say I don't have time, that means you've already concluded that you're not going to put in any efforts required to get the work done. But if you give yourself some room to consider some possibilities, then it's going to be very easy for you to get the work done, find ways around all the obstacles that you have that are going to get in the way of you getting the work done. If your own other concern is that you don't have a good enough phone, because this is the one I hear the most, if you're worried that you don't have a good enough phone to shoot your content, when I started making content, I was using Infinix Hot 6. I don't even know how many hots they've had since then, but I used an Infinix Hot 6. Terrible camera, terrible background, terrible everything, terrible audio, and I didn't have a mic. It was so bad that if I turn like this, the lighting would the lighting would just, like, if I turn, the lighting will become so bright from this side. Then when I turn back, it will balance, because I guess the lighting from the phone depended on the person's face facing the camera. And I will tell you now, my main channel has 100,000 subscribers plus, and I film with an iPhone 15 Pro Max, 1 terabyte. So this is what I've used, and I have constantly used mobile phones throughout my filming career. I don't own a camera yet, and I have used mobile phones to grow my channels. I'm filming with another mobile phone now, and the mobile phone I'm using to film now is not even as good as the 15 Pro Max, right? So my point is, you can just keep making excuses, or you can find ways around it. For everything that you consider an excuse, there is a way around it. For every obstacle that you think is there to deter you, there is a way around it. If the thing is that you have posted content, maybe you've posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've not posted enough to actually decide that you want to give up. My main channel, I will still always use myself as reference. My main channel has over 800 videos posted, and a lot of those videos were experiments, me just trying to see what was working, me just trying to see which one will move fast. Then we have the outliers, then we have the ones that I just posted because I didn't have anything to post and too much time had gone by before I posted content, right? Yeah, so a lot of these videos are experiments that I have done to just make sure that I put content out, and from each and every one of these experiments I have learned something. I have applied what I learned to the next content that I posted. So there is always something that you can do to get around what seems to be the problem, but you first of all have to decide that you're actually going to be committed enough to put out the content. I'll even take it a step further. This new channel that I started, I was not going to post on this channel, and my plan was to post on my second channel that has over 1,000 subscribers. But the second channel started as a fitness channel, right? So I had already built an audience from people that were interested in fitness. I started posting, I stopped, I started, I stopped. I was just inconsistent on that channel. So when I now decided, okay, since we already have 1K subscribers here, let me start posting my creator economy content, the videos just tanked. Weeks will go by, days will go by, a video that I posted will have 1 view, no views, 2 views, in spite of the fact that we already had over 1K subscribers. So the algorithm had already kind of, the audience was a little, how would I put it, like people were not interested in that content, right? So I decided, you know what, this is taking too long. If I start a new channel from scratch, I would even grow better and quicker than that channel that I'm trying to bend into a niche that they are not interested in. I also tried posting this creator economy content on my main channel. Same thing happened. Flop, 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 because we already have 100,000 people here for hair content, and here you are. It's crazy, but trust me, once you decide that you want to start posting the content, the time that each video takes doesn't matter. To make it simpler, you can leave all of the complex content that will take you more than 15 minutes to film, and then focus on speaking videos like this. This is another reason why talking head videos are so good, because you don't even have to worry about putting so much film together to make one video. There are a lot of people that started posting talking head videos simply because they wanted to post content, but they didn't want to wait until they had this cinematic video before they posted the content. Oh, we've only talked for 9 minutes. There is so much that you can do to get around it, and I need you guys to understand that when it comes to content and posting content, there are so many formats of content that you can explore. There are so many things you can do. There are so many ways you can speak. There are so many ways you can communicate with your audience that don't exactly demand that you turn the entire thing into cinema. If you are someone that says, but I'm interested in doing things like vlogs, but I'm interested in going out, but I'm interested in just showing people my life, that's all well and good. But by the time you break all of those interests down, at what frequency are you going to be able to post the content that you need to post so that it actually moves and the algorithm shows it to more people? Because one thing you also have to consider is, if you are posting content, you can't just post and dip. You can't post and dip. You can't post and then leave it for 1 to 3 months without having a follow-up video. People are only going to gravitate towards the person that's consistent, and if that is not you, then you are completely missing something. You will now need to find ways that you can turn your interest, whether it is vlogs, whether it's more outdoorsy activities, into things that you can create in such a way that you put out more of. The best option is actually talking heads, but there are definitely ways that you can put your content together in such a way that it doesn't stress you out, and you still get the entire video in under 15 minutes. Let me try and make an example out of a vlog. If you're going to be vlogging, instead of vlogging and getting out and getting in random clips, do your very best to only vlog what I say relevant activities that you do throughout the day. Does that make sense? And also try to talk throughout the day so that you can talk about whatever activity you're going to be performing, and then you show the activity, you talk a little, you show a little, and try your very best as well to keep your shots clean, to keep your speech clean, to keep your entire video clean, so that when it is time to edit and you are cutting out the bits that you don't want, you don't cut out too much. When you are editing the parts that you speak, you haven't made so much mistake or so many mistakes throughout your speeches that you have to cut out too much, and then that just makes editing take way longer. But that's it. I'm going to give this one short. The fact that I said you need 15 minutes doesn't mean I have to take 15 minutes, but you get the entire idea and you get what I'm trying to say. I hope you find this helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.